Welcome! In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Topben 1080p projector. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So this has 3-second autofocus, plus or minus 45-degree auto keystone, fully sealed optical engine, native 1080p. So let's get this open. Okay, so this comes in a backpack here, so it has shoulder straps and a handle, so that'll make it easy to transport. Let's open that up. Inside of here we have the user manual. We also have a microfiber and some cleaning swabs and a warranty card. Let's take a quick look at the manual. So here we have the different parts of the projector. We have lens, autofocus, touchscreen buttons, power supply interface, comes with a remote control. On the back we have the inputs. We have HDMI, AV, aux, USB 1, USB 2. This shows different things you can connect into it. This talks about connecting it, positioning your projector. You can place this on a desk or a ceiling. This talks about adjusting the projected image. This is for autofocus. You can focus manually with the F-, F+ buttons. This talks about electronic keystone and Bluetooth settings. So you can connect devices to this using Bluetooth, and this can also connect to Bluetooth speakers. So this talks about the speaker mode. This can connect to Wi-Fi for casting purposes. This supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So this supports casting from Apple or Android. This talks about playing back things. And here's some specs. So this shows the different audio, picture, and video formats it supports. So they're pretty standard. And here are the parameters for the projector. Power on this is 90 watts. Speaker is 4 ohm at 5 watts. Let's get the projector out. Here is the projector. And there are wires and accessories here. Here's the remote control. Takes 2 AAA batteries. I'll place those in here. So it does not come with batteries, you have to supply your own. Here we have an HDMI cable. This is a composite AV cable, so you could plug this into a VCR, DVD player, or an older video game console. Here's a leveling foot and the power cord. And this is a standard style power cord. So let's pull this film off. So it's a very glossy, smooth surface. We have touch buttons on the top. There's some film here over the lens. And the IR receiver. Looks like there's a little camera there. That would be for the autofocus. On the side we have speaker. Here's another speaker on the other side and power. And on the back we have the ports. If we flip it over to the bottom, there are lots of options here. We can put the foot here in the front. So if you set it on a surface, you can use that for leveling it. I'm just going to install it all the way. Then we have 4 threaded holes here for a projector mount, and we have a hole in the middle for a tripod thread. So these are all 1/4-20 threaded holes. But if you want to put it on a tripod, you'd put it in this middle hole. And then it also has the rubber feet there. Now to expose the lens, we'll pull back on here, and here we have the lens. So when you're not using it, you can keep your lens clean with that closed. I really like that design. Since it's integrated into the projector, you're not going to go losing it. So I'll open that up. This has a sealed lens system on it, so it's not going to get dust on the inside. So I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to get this set up, pointed at my screen, and we'll check it out. Okay, I have this pointed at my screen. I'll turn the projector on. And this is the first time I'm turning it on, so I don't know how well it's aimed. So this is the little startup sequence, and actually I aimed it pretty good. Well, that's a cool little startup sequence there. So now it's doing its autofocus. And we're all set up. So I will say that is almost perfectly centered. I'm going to try and tweak it just a little bit. I'm going to go with that right there. So hopefully this is coming through on camera, but this is very bright and very sharp. So let's check out the features of this. I'll go up to settings. I'll go to Wi-Fi settings. So it's going to allow me to add a Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to set that up. I'm going to skip through this so I don't have to blur out all the passwords. Okay, so I'm connected up to Wi-Fi. I'll hit back on the remote. Next we have Bluetooth settings. So here we can add a Bluetooth speaker or other accessory. We have about. Then we have language settings, date settings. So it can automatically set the date and time. Let's go to time zone, and I'll switch that to my time zone. We have factory reset. We have projection image settings. So the first setting is install mode. If we press on that, it gives us 4 options. We have front desktop, front ceiling, rear ceiling. So you can have the projector in front or behind the screen, and you can have it on a desk or on a ceiling. So that makes it very versatile for mounting. And we have multi-directional autocorrection, horizontal autocorrection, vertical autocorrection, autofocus once powered on. So since autofocus was on, this looked pretty good right out of the box. And then we have system local update. So I'll back out of this. On the left side we have warranty, we have Bluetooth speaker. So with this we can go to a phone or other device and connect to the projector and use it as a Bluetooth speaker.
Quit Bluetooth speaker mode.
Then we have Bluetooth disconnected below that. Below that we have AV. So if you have a legacy device plugged in, you can go there to view it. And then the last one we have HDMI. So we're going to get into this in a bit, but there are a number of different ways to view video on here. If you're casting video to it from a phone or tablet, that casting doesn't work with Netflix, Hulu, and other streaming devices. If you want to watch those paid streaming services on here and they don't work with the casting techniques, you could plug in a media device like a Fire TV stick or a Roku into HDMI, and then you can have all the smart capabilities of that media stick on your projector, just like you would on a TV. So let's go up here to AirPlay. I'll hit OK. So it's telling me to connect to this on my device. Now I've already set it up on Wi-Fi, so I'll go into my iPad here, and I'll go to my control panel, and I'll choose the projector. Okay, so I'm connected up. We're mirroring my screen now on my iPad. So I'm going to rotate my iPad 90 degrees. I'll go full screen, and here I'll play this video.
There you go, sir.
Thank you. So the video on here is very clear and it's streaming very nicely. Now I can also go into apps like Keynote, and here I have a presentation, so I'll go to the first slide. Now I'll play the presentation. And on the projector we see the first slide. Now if I look on my iPad, I see the first and second slide, and if there were other slides you'd see those too. So I can have my notes here related to the slides, and then the audience can see the actual slideshow. Now when I'm done casting, I can go to the control center and stop mirroring. So that was super easy to do, and it worked great. So now I'll hit back. I'll go back to the main menu, and you can also use Mirrorcast if you're on Android. Now let's connect a USB drive up with some media on it. So that showed up at the top. So I can go to Video. I'll open that up, and here we have an interface. So I'll go to Media, and it's showing the videos on here. So let's go to this train video. That came up very quickly.
Good.
Let's see if we can fast forward. So I moved the highlight on the bottom over to the double right arrows, and it's currently fast forwarding. When I get to the spot I want, I'll go back to pause.
Oh, shoot.
The speaker on this is very loud. So as you can see, we can play video right off of a USB drive. Let's go back. Now if we go on the left here, it gives us access right away to the other options. We don't have to go back to the home screen. So here we can go to Picture, and here we have Photos. So I'll go here. So this is Corn Palace. If I go to the bottom, I'll hit play, and this is just going to cycle through in a slideshow. Let's look at the settings under there. So this has picture modes like brightness, contrast, and such. This will also support Office documents. So let me connect up a Fire TV, and on the left side, we'll go to HDMI. And here we can access all the streaming services on a Fire TV Cube, like Netflix, Prime, and others. So to exit out, I'll hit home again. So to turn off the projector, I'll press the power button. And we have a couple different options here. So we have screen off, power off, reboot. We have blue sound, so that would keep the Bluetooth speaker on. And we have time off. So I'll just say power off. So that was the Topben 1080p portable projector. Now while that was running, I had this plugged into my power meter and it was drawing around 93 watts. So that might be useful to know if you want to power this from a portable power station. So if you have a 300 watt power station, you might get around 3 hours with this projector connected. But there are many variables involved, but that's just a rough estimate. So I really like this projector. It really hit all the boxes. Image quality was great. Focus was great. It was very bright. I like that it has that sealed design. It has the autofocus. The speakers on it were really loud. Now I was controlling it with the remote, but it does have these touch buttons on the top to also control it. This was very easy to use, very easy to set up, and the interface on it was very fast as I was moving around it. So a projector like this could be good for outdoor movie night. You could take this to hotels, conventions, anywhere where you want to have a projector that's easy to carry around. You might even want to use this in a theater room. Now I know some people might spend a lot more and get a much fancier projector. If you're looking for a more basic setup with a good projector, I think this is a great option. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.